What's Ubisoft got in the works?
I was going to say, let's talk about Assassin's Creed. And
they delayed it. Yeah.
You want to talk about Assassin's Creed? All right, let's talk about Assassin's
Creed. I want to.
I know you want to. Assassin's Creed made your whole career. Let's see. So we got Assassin's Creed. We're going to start with the basics and then kind of work our way from there. So Assassin's Creed, for some context, I'm sure you guys know this by now because all the grifters have made videos on it. But Assassin's Creed has officially delayed.
Wait, hold up. You just glazed right over. You got blocked by them.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Hypnotic got blocked and I didn't get blocked. How does that work?
That happened because I haven't been blocked by them.
He's really good at that.
I get blocked by everyone.
Got blocked.
This has been like this for a while. Actually, this has been like this since the first delay. Because I put the Steve Harvey meme.
Yeah, it was the Steve Harvey one. Yeah,
the Steve Harvey meme where it was like we was samurai and shit, and I got blocked because of that. So yeah,
you were blocked for that. That was hysterical.
First, they tried to hide the reply, and then I just re-put it again, and then they blocked me. So
they're like, you had your chance.
Yeah. Anyway, so some context. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed again. Okay, so now it's not coming out in February. It is going to be coming out on March 20th, 2025. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about the fact that March 20th is a date that lands on one of the worst, if not the worst, terrorist attacks that ever happened in Japan. But that's a whole nother conversation that we're going to get into a little bit later. But they are just... I know I keep saying like Ubisoft is getting cooked, but like at this point, they are genuinely getting cooked. They can't seem to do anything right with this game, whether it's their announcements, whether it's the actual game showcase, or I don't know if you guys are aware, some of you might be. Apparently, they accidentally leaked DLC for this game on the Steam page.
They have an entire
DLC that is supposed to be free if you pre-order the game before the first.
Correct.
Yeah,
they accidentally leaked DLC for this game, which is hilarious, by the way.
Jesus.
So you got all the story elements, everything that people weren't supposed to know about. You got it all, and it's like they can't do nothing right. It's just constantly fucking up. It's almost as if they are handling this game with such like fear that their hands are shaking, and they just accidentally slipped. And
no, it's not an accident. They are doing this on purpose so that Tencent buys them.
Yeah, this is do or die.
I truly believe that.
Yeah, this is
I don't know, bro. Because the Guillemot brothers really want to maintain control over Ubisoft, and I feel like all this shit happening is just going to further the chances that they're not going to have control when they get bought out.
Can I just interject real quick and say
you've done it a few times already. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I do. So the whole thing behind Ubisoft and the premise of beginning Sweet Baby Inc. and all the connections that Kim Blair has with Ubisoft and everyone there, they are in deep with DEI, as we all know, and consultancy companies. And this, among everything else that they fucked up along the way, this is one of those, releasing it on one of the biggest, like we're going to talk about later, ever, kind of makes you wonder about why do you need a consultancy group if you can't get that right? Doesn't that push you to realize that that's why you shouldn't have a consultancy group? Because if you fuck it up and you don't have a consultancy group, you can be like, oh, we didn't know. You fuck it up and you do have consultancy, it's like, well, you literally pay people to figure this shit out. So it's almost better to not do that.
Yeah.
Well, the whole point of consultancy is to supposedly do a couple of things. Number one, sensitivity reading, which they clearly failed in this aspect.
Yep.
Number two, to avoid making cultural mistakes, which they've done. I don't even know how many times now. At least you could count it on two hands, I think. Yep. I don't think it's more than 10. But they've done quite a few mistakes.
This is Assassin's Creed cultural mistakes.
Dude,
it's more like Assassin's Creed cultural nightmare.
The amount of shit that is like interjected into this video game that's going to cause it to fail. It's like a literal list that's like 3 pages long of all the bullshit that's like going on with this video game. I can't believe that everybody forgot about the consultant that they had to come in that's talking about transgenerational sex with samurai.
What?
Everybody forgot
You're
about
talking
that.
about the one. Wait, no, the ones
Share my
that
screen real quick.
it's
Yes,
about.
there was,
She studies Buddhas and her
Yes.
and their relationship with young boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarah's
Yeah, that's
Sashi
totally
Schmidt.
normal.
Yeah.
This
being
is
anyone-
real. I fact checked it. I went
Oh, the
to
Domino's
actual,
thing. It's great.
dude. I went to the actual
No,
Facebook page.
no.
Yeah, this is real. Domino's
Mm.
actually did this. This is
Get
not
the
Photoshop.
fuck out of here. No way.
believe
Call
it.
us
Now
if you
seeing
need help delivering on time.
Oh
I
my
believe it, yeah.
god.
The Domino's,
No.
whoever's running those accounts, they always post some fire shit. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Bro,
Hell
I
yeah.
couldn't. I thought it was Photoshop. I was like, there ain't no way.
No way.
I reactivated my Facebook to check that shit.
I mean,
Although
you
the
gotta
Wendy's
imagine
not
being
do that.
Ubisoft and getting cooked by fucking Domino's. Like, how you gonna feel?
Cooked
You
by
probably-
a pizza company.
I could imagine the CEO, Vets Guillemot, after he saw that roast, he called up fucking Tencent CEO. He's like, all right, guys, you know what? Just buy us. It is what it is.
Please just buy us.
We'll give you a
on-
discount. Just buy us, please.
Just
Ubisoft is on death's door, folks. It's either they get bought out by Tencent while the company is still operating, or they completely collapse, pull a THQ, and it gets assets stripped by all sorts of different
Well, that
companies.
was the whole purpose of delaying the game. They were saying is
Mhm.
it's not because they need 4 weeks to fix bugs and glitches like they claim. I was a game tester. I can tell you guys straight up, you can't fix anything worth a damn in 4 weeks. That's a joke.
So what's everybody's conspiracy about what they're actually doing with this time? Let's start off with Smash since he started it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say my conspiracy is they're delaying it so that they can finish up the paperwork to sell it. Like that's why it's delayed, because it's worth more unsold than being for sale and failing.
Mm.
Because at least
Anybody else?
potential of sales is
That-
something that will make them be like, okay, we're gonna be they'll probably over exceed what they think it's gonna sell, because everyone's talking how great, everyone's excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows as they keep telling the shareholders. And it's like, where are you getting this information from? No one cares about it. No one wants it.
Smash or anyone that knows financials, isn't March the last month of the first quarter?
Yeah.
Well, it's different because every company has different
Yeah.
fiscal years.
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, let's
I
say
don't know.
hypothetically it is though, because I think that I assume I think that's what it is for most companies. I could be wrong, but that means they're pushing it out to basically the last moment to have the lowest. I mean, they would be at their lowest possible stock for the quarter.
Potentially. I mean, any day after today, the next day is going to make them worth less, and the day after that's going to make them worth less. So yeah, Ubisoft is cooked.
My
It's
other
kinda like-
conspiracy is that it's not just that, like, obviously, no, either way it goes, they're gonna have to sell or shut down and whatever they have to do, because there's no fixing that company. They're fucked, right? They've had 4 flops in the last year and a half. They're done for. I think they're waiting to get bought out, and also I think they're also trying to tone back Yasuke's influence in the video game, and that's why every time you see more
That's what I
clips,
think.
they're always showing Naoe. Like they showed off Yasuke once in all of the new clips they've shown, right?
That's a
When he
good
was fighting another samurai. That was like one time. I checked. All the other clips are nothing but Naoe. That's all they talk about. That's all they show, which they should have from the beginning. It should have just been her if you want to do it that way. I feel like they're trying everything they can to try to eliminate as much like flack as possible, but there's nothing they can do that's going to fix it. Either way it goes, as soon as it comes out, it's not going to flop. All right, it's Assassin's Creed. It's not going to flop, but it will underperform hella. Like it's bruh, there's
No,
nothing they can do.
Kata, I would have agreed with you until we found out roughly what the budget was and how expensive this game was. I actually think it will be a true flop because they will not make the money back. This is the most expensive Assassin's Creed game they've ever made. If the reports were
that
true,
too.
it was like a $300 or $550 million game or something, like some absurd number.
That's on top of Skull and Bones.
Exactly.
on top of
On
Skull
top of
and
Skull
Bones,
and
yeah.
Bones.
That's crazy.
How do you
And then-
put that
Realize.
much money into a project?
Well, they
Well,
got
Ryan,
like
some
what?
people have money.
But that
Don't
much?
they have some,
Half
like,
a billion?
absurd amounts of thousands of employees?
Yeah. And this and like right now, that's what's going on with the gaming industry in general. Like these bloated budgets, like Spider-Man had cost what 200 million to make or something like that. And was it Ratchet and Clank was like 90 million. It just gets bigger and bigger. This is why Sony themselves have to rely on the PS4 player bases, because PS5 alone can't make them recoup any of the money back from after these outrageous budgets in your games and stuff.
Yeah,
like
PS5 would need games for that to happen.
Two things really quick. Number one, we just passed 3,300 on Mugen's Kickstarter.
Wow.
So great job, guys.
yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And number
get
two,
more.
I do believe they are changing the game, right? Because really quick, you were talking about the budget. So I believe it because they delayed the game 4 months initially, 4 months, and they paid another 20 million euro to delay it 4 months.
Jesus,
that's 4 months. So imagine years and years of development. Yeah, it's pretty easy to say this game costs probably well above 300 million. Considering all the time that they invested in it.
They have too many employees. It's a bloated company, and they're too afraid to let people go. There's no use for like 80% of the people that work there. If Elon Musk went over and took it over, he'd clean house tomorrow. Like,
yeah.
Well, look what he did. Yeah, you're right. Look what he did with X.
Yeah.
Didn't he fire like 75% of people within a week or two?
Yeah, and nothing happened.
Literally the same exact way as it always did.
Yeah,
I remember people were
Here's-
saying,
here's why Ubisoft can't fire anybody is because they've already fired all their straight white dudes that work there. Now you can't fire any of the blacks and the
They
LGBTs and
start
shit. Like,
nightmares and lawsuits on their hands if they start firing people and letting them go.
Yeah, but
Weren't
Ubisoft used to
they-
brag. Ubisoft used to brag back in the day of how many people used to work on these Assassin's Creed, like 1,000
Yep.
people. I'm like, damn. They used to brag about that. Now,
well, it's because they
Meanwhile,
wanted
No
they
Man's
wanted to
Sky
get
was
it out
made-
every year.
It was
they
a
had
yearly
shit laws,
franchise.
but
Yeah.
No Man's Sky was made by like what 12 people.
Bro,
Yeah,
like
very
Assassin's
small team.
Creed came out in 2007. Assassin's Creed 2, one of the best ones in the franchise, came out a year after. All right. So it's like, how do you go from Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, even Black Flag, all these games to fucking Assassin's Creed Shadows, which unironic name, you put a nigga in the game and you call it Shadows. How does that work? Right? Like what do
You
who-
could just
who does
you could
it
just
cost?
imagine, Kate. Hold on, you could just imagine all the white liberals over there at Ubisoft when they thought of the name and they finally finalized it. They were like, "Yep, this is the one. They're really gonna like this.
Oh, they
They're gonna
love that.
see us. They're gonna see us for the saviors we are."
See,
We're
How,
gonna
Yeah.
call
how
them
can we
Shadows.
push, how can we push a black guy without sounding super racist?
They can't call it Assassin's Creed Dark, so they got to
Just
call
like
it.
just like when they put the fucking hip hop music. Oh, you know the
Oh, yeah.
blackies love that hip hop. Let's put that right there.
That
That's
was
gonna get us so
insane.
much
It's
of
put it
the colored
Assassin's
folk.
Creed Black
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. What they said is after they released that trailer, they was like they did like Freezer. They were like, ha, 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 here you go, monkeys. And that's exactly what they did. Yep.
You said it, not me.
Well said, Atreus. Well
You
said.
said it on your
Creed
show, so
back
you're
to
therefore
black.
responsible unless you're going to hold me accountable, according to Alyssa Mercante.
Yeah.
True.
So stupid.
And see, what the problem with these games
It's
today
racism by
is-
proxy. Go ahead, Mugen. Sorry.
Yeah, what the problem is with the gaming industry or game development in general, culture shifts and move faster than game development itself.
Yep.
Because if Yasuke was like announced, like if he was being Assassin's Creed game, well, like years ago or before all this culture war thing came in, no one would even an eyelash at it. People like, oh man, that's probably pretty cool and stuff like that. But these games take like 5, 6, and sometimes 7 years, and the cultures just constantly keep shifting faster and faster. So now they're late with the party with this game, and they put it out there, and people say, no, like fuck this game. Why do you include this and everything? And I think the same thing is going to happen with Intergalactic with Naughty Dog. You know, like the game will come out 2027, maybe 2028. Lord knows what the culture is going to be like. By the time that game comes out, so that's what's
To be
going
honest,
on.
though, I don't know if I agree with that necessarily because I know a lot of people say that,
Mhm.
but I don't agree with that mainly because we've seen what happens when they interject certain characters that really shocks people in certain
Mhm.
settings. Like the main character for Neo or Nio, however you want to say that game, the other
Mhm.
game that has Yasuke as a
Neo.
side character in it, Neo.
Yeah,
People freaked out initially at that samurai because they're like, "Why are you putting a white guy?"
yeah, I
And
remember
then,
that. Yeah,
and then once they kind of explained who he was and how he was actually historical, same shit as Yasuke to an extent, but
Mhm.
actually real. They came out and people kind of let it go a little bit, but there's still people that talk about that to this day. So whenever you kind of give that shocking level of like, what the fuck's going on, I think people would
Mhm.
always mention it. Maybe not to the veracity they do now,
yeah,
but it was always a conversation. It's always something that gets brought up.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been as like inflammatory as like right now.
Well,
Like if
Asians don't
it
hate
came
white
out
people,
before.
so that's different.
I mean, but more people would have been like, "Oh, you got a black dude as the first playable character in the first game in Japan for Assassin's Creed." that's weird. Everybody would have been like, that's weird, because since the first one, everybody's wanted it in Japan. So I still think they still would have got flack for it. But what Mugen said is right. It wouldn't be as crazy as it is now because everybody is tired. Right, like everybody is tired of the virtue. Everybody is tired of, like, the whale. I've said it multiple times. Like, the whale was poisoned so much that you get games like Tales of Kenzera where people look at it, they're like, oh fuck, it's a SBI game. It's one of those woke games, and then it completely flops, and then it turns out, oh, he didn't really have shit to do with it, right? It's like, and then you can have other movies, TV shows, games that come out by people who are Black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. And then everybody go, no, I don't want that woke shit, because they're tired of the BS, and it makes it harder to get that stuff across. So yeah, like it's a two things can be true at once.
Well, take back to Assassin's Creed 3, and like I actually had the opposite complaint when Assassin's Creed 3 came out. I was like, you're playing as a Native American, the dude's name is fucking Connor. It should be like Swift Bull or something like that. Like, why the fuck is the native's name Connor?
And then the game came out and it made sense because his father's
exactly.
England,
but like
right?
in the marketing, I thought it was fucking dumb.
And see, I talked about that today.
Is gay coding,
What? Fuck.
I talked about that today. Some fucking retard was like, "Oh, Assassin's Creed 3 had DEI." First of all, that wasn't a thing in 2011 when they started developing the game. Second of all, you got to remember context. Just because you're playing as a Native American doesn't make it DEI or woke. It's the context of the story. So when the game came out, everybody's like, "Oh, cool! It's the American Civil War. We're playing as a Native American. They were very present at the time. Okay, that's cool. That's fine." If the game came out today, the only thing they would be talking about is Native American, Native American, Native American, Native American, and it would have turned everybody off. So there's a difference in between the context of what happens with a lot of this stuff. So
yeah, but there's saying that it would never happen, and then they're saying that the level of veracity behind it would be different.
Revolutionary War, yeah, not Civil War. The fuck am I talking about? Yeah,
like because again, these conversations would have happened back in the day if they were as egregious as Yasuke being in the first ever Japanese fucking Assassin's Creed. I genuinely believe that people would be questioning, like, why are we having Yasuke in this game? Like, what's the point of that? Why is he the main character? Especially in feudal Japan, but whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the boardroom meetings from 2019, 2020 during the George Floyd stuff, where they're just like, I got a great idea for a game, guys. Fast forward 5 years later.
Oh yeah.
Saint Floyd.
Oh yeah.
Saint Floyd.
Yeah, it's Saint Floyd. Okay.
So now, we got the context of the delay and everything. We had our conversation. Let's talk about the DLC leak, because that's fucking hilarious. So hold on, let me bring it up. Assassin's Creed DLC leak.
I'm glad there's so many Assassin's Creed 3 fans in the chat, because I thought I was the only one that really liked that game. I love that game.
That was the last good one in my opinion.
It's one of my favorites.
Truly think that was the last good one.
I don't know about that one. Because I'm going to catch flack for this. I don't care. I think Odyssey is a good game. I don't care. I think it's a very good
Odyssey,
game.
so I can't actually comment on that one.
The way that it ties into the Assassin's Creed lore is actually really good. And as an RPG game, it's pretty solid. It's not a classical like Assassin's Creed game, but yeah, it's a pretty good game. And then you also have to remember Black Flag, which is
that the multiplayer one, Odyssey?
No, that's the one that was in the Greek time with Cassandra and them. Yeah. And yeah. And
just real quick, while Hypnotic's bring that up, there was an interview with one of the guys that works on Assassin's Creed, and he was saying that they don't just compete against other games that are coming out. They compete against Assassin's Creed games that have already come out. And that's a challenge for them, because some of those games are bangers and they don't have a talented staff to even compete with them these days. So it's actually like, if you haven't played those yet, why would you buy a new one? You just play the old one that's better.
For sure, man.
So
I'm
let's
under
check this out. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm under the impression, like, I've played every single Assassin's Creed game. I don't think there is a bad one. There are some that are more lackluster than others. There's not a bad Assassin's Creed game, right? And looking at this game, it looks like it will be the first bad one where you're like, oh shit, this kind of sucks, right? And that's a thought that I never thought that I would have. based on the story leaks, based on the character, based on the fact that the animations are choppy and snappy, based on a lot of different things that come out about the video game, it doesn't look like it would be as good as the previous one. Not even it doesn't even look like it would be as good as Valhalla.
The other ones.
I personally like
well,
Valhalla.
that's because I play Assassin's Creed. I could see the difference.
Why you say that like you think I haven't played Assassin's Creed? What are you talking about?
Because it's not part of the
which
Negro
ones did you
Casual
play?
collection. You've already told us.
Ooh,
Like,
hold on, wait.
Hold on.
We just
What
walked
did
into
Leon
Chicago.
just say?
Give me a second. Wait. Hold on, wait.
Oh God, here we go.
What the fuck is he doing?
He wants us to go back and forth about me saying that. That's because I actually play Assassin's Creed. That's what he wants. He wants a good old blackety black flight on his Saturday night stream. He wants to see two niggas go at it on his stream. He got the two black dudes dancing for money.
Thousands of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit up on that ass right now.
That's what he wants to see. But we can't do that because you're playing Marvel Rivals.
No, I'm perfectly capable of being able to do that while we're playing Marvel Rivals. And I'm not playing Marvel Rivals.
I can check Steam right now, and I guarantee you're on Marvel. I'll check Steam. Hold on.
Following Pokemon, I think everyone would say,
shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt.
Can y'all see the reflection of my glasses? You see that? You can see Atreus, Marvel Rivals.
Man, y'all was supposed to fight each other. Y'all boring.
Did we lose Sheep City? And like, was there some strays caught in the fucking gang shit?
Yeah,
Oh, my bad. I forgot to add him back. My bad.
I'm
That's
eating off
racist of me.
screen. I'm eating off screen.
Oh, so it's fine.
You didn't see him.
No problem. All right, so let me bring up let me bring up what I was trying to showcase before the two black guys started fighting. All right, so this is the page that was not supposed to be there on Steam. And it showcases a DLC. Let's read this. So it's called Throne. What is it? To get the throne? No, that's not what it's called. Hold on. What the fuck's the name of this shit? Oh, George Floyd. Hold on. Wait. Go back. Go back.
Dude, he straight up had that whole like black gift look too. Like,
the game's first DLC is titled Claws of Awaji and will release later in 2025. That sounds real Japanese.
Claws of a wedgie.
Claws of Awaji. Is Awaji a Japanese place or is it like Wakanda? What's it? Awaji? Is that real? Awaji Island. It's an island in Japan. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. There you go. I mean, it still sounds Wakandan, but I'll take it back. So Ubisoft added feel
Awaji forever.
Feel the fear of being hunted and under threat on a mysterious island. Reclaim a lost treasure while avoiding the traps and ambushes of deadly new foes. Master the bow, a new weapon type. Unlock new skills, gears, and abilities, and get over 10 hours of additional content for a game that is not released yet.
You know another game that's based in Japan that had a DLC based on an island. This is literally Ghost of Tsushima at home.
This is Ghost of Tsushima for the casuals.
It's even better than that though, because if they're already advertising this, that means this is shit that was probably gonna be in the original game and they took out to resell.
Yep. Oh, you mean the typical Ubisoft thing? What they do all the time?
Nothing.
This is why nobody likes Ubisoft, bro.
I'll live my whole life. I'll never get over that.
I actually play Assassin's Creed like I've never.
Now
played.
you want to fight? No, you missed your opportunity. You can't. No, it is what it is. You had your opportunity.
You know what's gonna be crazy is when they drop this game and y'all see the egregious prices that they're gonna have for skins in a single player game.
Oh yeah.
Well, they can charge whatever they want.
That's always been
an issue with me. That's what I was trying to say before. So I actually like Assassin's Creed Valhalla just because I like the whole Viking, setting and whatnot. But my issue with Valhalla was that, bro, I was playing this game and I'm like, what is this grind fest that's happening right now?
Exactly.
Because I don't mind like a grindy game because I play MMOs. I get it. I totally understand. But this shit took it to a whole nother level. I'm like, I feel like I'm playing a mobile game now after a certain point instead of an Assassin's Creed game because it started off great. I was having fun. But then a little while into it, about, maybe 15, 20 hours into it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I just got completely turned off by the idea. But now going into what you said, yeah, there's going to be insane levels of monetary bullshit in this game. And this is why I don't understand why people pay full price for a Ubisoft game. Because number one, they're going to nickel and dime you, without a doubt. Number two, the game's going to be 50% off after 30 days. It's going to be 75% off after 60 days. And after about 6 months, they're going to sell you the entire game with all the DLCs for one price. That's like half of the original. So
I got a question real quick about this about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Are they done doing the whole like, oh, you're in a pod and you're reliving your ancestry shit? Because
they've been done with that since around Unity, Rogue.
Okay, that's why I was exactly. I haven't played an
Unity,
Assassin's
Rogue.
Creed game in a hot minute because to me they're kind of just like the action adventure Call of Duty. You get a new one every year, and they don't change much.
After
I haven't played
After they killed Desmond.
Yeah, after 3, they got a new character in there, and then they stopped doing that, and then it got kind of the real life story got fucking boring.
Okay, because I was wondering, I was like, are they gonna do like a whole ancestor of Yasuke thing in a pod? Like, I was wondering that being the story, but okay.
It would be kind of wild if they did something like that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
guys, we're almost at 3,400 on the Kickstarter backing. So, guys, come on, let's do our best. Try to get closer and closer to that 4K mark to the best of our ability. I got the link in the chat right now for you guys. I'll spam it again. Consider checking it out. Consider backing an independent artist. That would be awesome.
They do that on purpose, though, right? Like they make the game grindy so that you go into your store and buy the little things so that you have a
the time
saver. Yeah, the time saver, the buff thing for XP and money and shit like that. They have that in these games.
But
let's
stuff
be
not
honest.
even want to play the game in the first place. That's why I steer clear of it.
Games these days are a lot of them are long games for the most part, and people are having less and less time to themselves compared to in the past. A lot of people have to work more than one job just to even make it half the time, so they don't even have the time to fucking play the game. So these developers, they pay attention to the markets that make the most money, and the markets that makes the most money by a long shot is the mobile market. By a long shot, we're talking by double everybody else, and double in the billions, right? So we're talking about an $80+ billion market, maybe even $100+ billion market, and they realize these strategies work for a reason, and it's because you're adhering to two different things that are involved in every human being, which is the instant gratification now these days that most people look for, unfortunately, and number two, people's impatience just in general. They just don't want to. They don't want to feel like they're being left behind, most people. And those people will usually pay, even if it's a little bit, they'll pay. You can even sneak out $5 from someone. And imagine taking that in times to get by millions of players. That $5 adds up very quickly. So they do this purposefully, and the game is designed around it. It's designed around those monetary practices. That's what I felt like when I was playing Valhalla, because I'm playing the game, and it starts off like a mobile game, really, really fun. Like, it's good. It's interesting. No need to pay for anything, which I feel like you shouldn't when you buy a full price game, but that's besides the point. No reason to pay for anything. And then before you know it, you just feel it slow down. You feel the game slow down, and you start to realize it slowly, but then little by little, you really hit the wall. And then before you know, you're like, what the fuck's going on? So
they're literally building AAA games like mobile games is what you're describing.
Basically, not all of them, but that's what they're doing, and it's crazy. It's like, how much more money are you really making from this? Because when you think about it, I feel like Black Myth Wukong really destroyed that whole narrative, right? Because forget like the culture war stuff and all that stuff. This is a game. Assassin's Creed is a game that should sell fairly well, just based off the name alone. Obviously, the controversy is going to hurt it, but it should sell decently well just off the name alone. And they are trying to milk every little player that they can. So even if it sells, let's say 5 million copies or whatever. What's the last one sell? What did Valhalla sell?
$1 billion.
No, it made $1 billion after launch because of
after launch. But that's what I'm saying. How many copies is it sell? Is that
20 million?
Yes, how many copies?
20. It was like
20 million. I just googled it. 20 million.
20 million. Okay, so Black Myth Wukong already passed that number.
Yeah.
And you also got to keep in mind Black Myth Wukong passed that number at its prime sale. Like the game wasn't put on sale and it passed 20 million copies. So that means it got full price for the most part on almost every single copy sold. Whereas Ubisoft probably got to 20 million with Valhalla through multiple sales of 75%.
I was about to say Resident Evil 4 Remake made that in like 4 months.
Resident Evil Remake, which one?
Resident Evil 4 Remake. The most recent one made 20 million, I think 22 million in like 4 months. How long did it take Valhalla?
No, but that's copies or money?
Copies.
Really? Resident Evil 4 sold over 20 million copies?
Yeah, sold 22 million.
Seriously?
That
Yeah,
game
yeah,
was
yeah.
the original.
Assuming Game Rant was being honest, because I did a video about it back in the day, and Game Rant had this like within the first 4 months, Resident Evil 4 sells 22 million copies. Like again, it's fucking Game Rant. So, but you know,
Wait, in the
I
first
just
4 months.
Googled it.
I don't know
Capcom-
about the first 4 months. I thought you meant like lifetime for all platforms combined.
There's no way, bro. There's no way.
I was going off what Game Rant said in the video. I have to
Game
find
Rant's
it.
stupid. There's an article from December of 2024 that says Capcom revealed on Twitter at the time of that article that the remake has sold 9 million copies.
Okay,
as
then
of December 9th, 2024. I was like, there's no way that fucking game.
Gotcha. Then Game Rant was being retarded. My bad.
But 9 million is still incredible, though.
Video 2 years ago. Sorry, guys.
No. But 9 million is incredible number,
But
though.
think
Don't get
about
me
that
wrong.
for a second, Hypno. When you can sell 9 million copies of a game, how stupid you end up being with money because you think you can do it every time, and then you get to be a bloated company.
Well, of course.
And that's
the thing
how
is-
they got to where they are now.
Well,
They didn't do what Capcom did.
That's what I
Capcom
was
did
saying
right.
about the whole narrative thing, because the Ubisoft tries to nickel and dime all their customers, like through and through. I don't know who's worse, EA or Ubisoft. I feel like EA most likely,
EA.
but
Yeah, for sure.
ultimately they both do the same exact thing, and they design their games around the same exact idea. And then you have Black Myth Wukong selling 3, 4, 5, 6 times as many copies as their best game did, and makes insane amount of money because they sold it all in their prime time to sell without having to put the game on sale at all, because people were just excited to play it and heard about it and wanted to buy it and all that stuff. So I don't know. I feel like that kind of destroys the entire narrative of having to nickel and dime in order to be successful, because a lot of these companies, they'll tell you that, oh, development of games costs so much money, we have to put in these microtransactions in order to survive and keep us afloat.
You know what it turned into is people up top. I know everyone already knows this, but just to re-say it again, people up top do not play video games, and they are not gamers. They are people trying to work for the investors to squeeze as much juice out of it as they can. And that is something that you can do for a quarter or 2 quarters or even 3 quarters or 4 quarters. You could even do it for a couple of years, maybe, if you get lucky with a game. But it will destroy your company. And that's what's happening with these games. It's so frustrating.
They're corpos. That's what it is. They're corpos. They're not doing it out of passion. They're hired because they're guys in suits. You know what I mean? They know about analytics and all that shit, and they're focused more on the corporate side of things than what's actually going to get the culture behind them and their product. Because to be honest with you, most of these executives that are working at these companies, they're joining these companies when the company's already established. So they don't have to build anything. The company's already established. They're coming into a company.
They're coming in to make as much money as possible.
That is very true.
So to add on things,
already has the goodwill. Basically, that's
yeah. They
what
never
I'm
come in from the ground floor. They always come in like when the company's been sold off to a bigger partner.
The ones who
sometimes
are
they come in, hold on. Sometimes they come in from companies that aren't even related to the video game industry.
Bro places white privilege. So hey, hold on, Hispanic. Let me finish my thought.
Smash. Maybe you should start a panel show of your own.
Do I have to
and go
remind
toe-to-toe.
you that you lost in West Side Story? The Italian guy dies. Do I have to remind you?
West Side Story with you.
All right, the Italians lost to the Puerto Ricans. Get over it. You couldn't get the girl, and you died. All right,
it was a fantasy play.
It doesn't matter. I'm just reminding you.
life.
Anyway, so no, the people who normally build it from the ground up, I guess the best example I could probably give is maybe Blizzard, with Jeff Kaplan and all those guys from way back when. The people who built it up, they're the ones who get kicked out. Once the company becomes corporatized and whatnot, starts getting shareholders and company goes public, or in Blizzard's case gets bought out by Activision, that's already a major corpo company. Those people get kicked out. The passionate people who are just there to give gamers what they want and actually made the company what it was, they get kicked out, and then the suits come in, and that's when the passion goes away, and then before you know it, you end up in the shithole with this, with Ubisoft selling to Tencent.
Do we have a modern day Reggie Fils-Aimé, like for any company? Like, can you name anyone that's like a modern day Reggie?
No.
I mean, Miyamoto.
No, that's still Nintendo. Does that really fucking count? Like,
No, because like
Hideo Kojima.
No.
No one
Guys,
can be Reggie, man. Reggie,
No,
nobody's
nobody's touching Reggie's legacy. Nobody's touching Iwata's legacy.
While you're
There's
talking about
Iwata,
that, we just got to 3,500, almost 3,500 on the Kickstarter.
Oh wow,
so-
thanks.
Hell
man,
yeah.
guys.
Great job, man. Great job. All right, keep talking, guys.
But yeah, nobody's touching Iwata's legacy. Nobody's touching Reggie's legacy. Not even this new guy, Doug Bowser. He's not doing anything.
Dude, where is Doug Bowser?
He disappeared. He was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the next Reggie, but it didn't work out. It's just he doesn't have the chutzpah, if you will, that Reggie had. Like it needs
to be more front facing. I'm
it's
glad
one of those
it's
things. It can't be replicated. It can't be. Exactly. You need a personality. You can't be replicated. You can't copy them. You got to do your thing. And there's just not that anymore.
I don't know if he was a great actor or if he genuinely cared about gaming, but when Reggie spoke, I felt like he cared about gaming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he got you hyped. That's what he did. Like I had loved Reggie. Like even when I was in college, I was a business major. I got a degree in business administration. I modeled myself when it came to presentations, my business professionalism class and stuff after him. Like I go on in front of like hundreds of people and just make things hype, you know? Like I just love Reggie, man. He just brought that energy, man. And then my dream was to meet him at some point, but he ended up leaving Nintendo.
Yep.
All right, before we get into the next topic real quick though, last question for this particular topic. Do we think the game gets delayed again? Yes or no?
Nah.
I
don't think they can
too close to
afford
get
it.
delayed. Yeah, it's too close to get delayed at this
I don't
point.
think so.
If anything, I don't know. The worst case scenario I could see is them scrapping the entire thing. That's just worst case.
No,
they go,
no, they're
yeah,
not
we
gonna
can't
scrap
release it.
No,
you know, but that's something that can't happen. So I don't think they delay it again. I think
they're gonna delay it anyway.
Come on, Ubisoft.
A lot of people in the
If they
chat
do
are saying
delay it,
yes.
If they do delay it, it will be like a 1 day delay, or they might move it up a day just to get it off of that day type thing.
Come on, Ubisoft, step on another mine. Delay it until August. Come on, please. August 6th or August 9th, please.
No, we were on my stream last night when I think you were there during this part. We were going over games that are coming out in the next couple months, and it is going to be a very loaded upcoming.
I feel like
I
the
mean,
gaming industry is blowing their load at the beginning, and then the rest is going to be like whatever.
Right.
No,
Bro, if they got to delay it again, but delay it to May 25th because that's when George Floyd died.
Could you imagine